Alright, hey everybody, welcome. Today we're playing some more Nba2K14 Association. Now, last episode we played the Grizzlies, we won 70-90-36. Now, I had a lot of fun and I didn't really want to record again because there's 82 games, so it's okay. But yeah, I played the Lakers, dominated them 94-44, and a really good first quarter and good quarters from then on. It was really fun. And now I know the team more, so we can play teams a lot more often. Now I want to see what the rating is. So we're not playing the Lakers again for, looks like, a while. But this season, I like the schedule. I mean, it has a lot of different teams instead of just always two back-to-back teams. I mean, this whole month is pretty much new teams, and then the next month is a bunch of new teams and some old teams, but they're not like always back-to-back. I know, some interesting games. So today we're playing the Trailblazers, and I made the time 5 minutes in each quarter now. So yeah, I'm going to slur my words this episode again. Probably. I'm not going to try to, but I don't know. I'll try not to, and hopefully it'll go well. So they're going to use their alternate. We're going to use our alternate because it, I think, no, we're going to use our Christmas because it, I like it because Chris Paul doesn't wear that weird undershirt and whatnot. And so I think they can wear their black jerseys because, yeah, anyways. So, let's get started. We're going to get our lineups. And
I'm Damon Bruce. It's Saturday
so we're having Danny Granger, Thaddeus Young in.
Spurs going up against the Portland Trailblazers. And with the
yeah, it's about how it's going to go.
Way, let's go to Kevin Clark and Steve, who are courtside for today's broadcast.
All right. Anyways, that one lineup I was going to have, I didn't say it, I didn't talk about it, but I was going to have Greg Oden in. I was gonna have Greg Oden be like power forward, LaMarcus Aldridge be small forward, Thaddeus Young be shooting guard, and I don't know, it was kind of weird, but I don't know. But last game, Danny Granger scored 30. We had a lot of good stats. The thing is, DeAndre Jordan, he only scored 7 points. It's better than the first game, which I recorded. But we need to get him in this game. We're not going to trade him. He's good. He contributes. He does what he needs, but he just didn't do too well. Everybody had at least 10 points except him. LaMarcus had 10, and everybody else had, like, I don't know, a lot.
Check out our starting lineups. One of the guys we'll be watching out for today, the developing DeMarcus Cousins.
Well, Kevin, he's capable of dominating every individual matchup physically. He's got
incredible
was
open a lot
and sometimes it's hard to really see
to find
on
some
TV,
open players.
But, you know, when he's on the floor,
take that little
he
jump
gets
shot
after you, and you have to be ready to play.
And you know what else, guys? He instigates so many of their fast breaks just because of how quick and accurate he is with his outlet passes. That's another one of his real nice talents.
For the Portland Trailblazers, they come in off a loss to Denver.
I like Isaiah Thomas and DeMarcus Cousins are on the same team again.
Them. They got taken apart both offensively and defensively.
And I think the sort of issues they had on defense, in part at least, was a bigger factor. Really compounded, I think, because it was on the road. You have to be sharper when you go out and play as a visitor.
Yeah, everything has to be tight. You can't be loose in any aspect of your game. You're fighting against the crowd and the opponent. You've got to be tougher mentally and physically if you're going to win on the road.
Now here's Granger.
Jump shot.
He was something else against the Lakers.
All right. Yeah, they have good defense. Yeah, that was the stats for Chris Paul last game.
The W against Los Angeles.
And a very confident performance offensively, I think, guys, is really.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get us out this game. I don't know, we're having a pretty bad game already.
The ball, they're tough to beat.
And, Steve, you got to love that kind of performance on the road. I mean, to be a great team in the NBA, you have to be able to have that kind of performance in the other team's building. Really solid.
All right.
And what an amazing run it was for the Spurs last year in the postseason.
Last game we had a good first quarter. I think we will break out this game and have a good quarter sometime, but right now we're just not doing too well.
On their way to the NBA Finals, and then of course we're seconds away from
good pass
another
down to
championship
Jordan.
banner.
Inside, he got that little layup. Probably could have dunked it if he wanted to, but it's not like you have to dunk it every time. Oh, the steal I didn't even try to get.
And here we go. And DeAndre Jordan throws
should have been a shooting foul, but he still stuffed it down over Isaiah Thomas.
Well, he's certainly the one they want on the end of those breaks. He always finishes strong.
Well, getting back to the
And I haven't done a lot of
Spurs,
alley-oops
they
this
look better
series because the
and
only ones
better
I've
as they
tried
went
were
deeper into the
turnovers.
playoffs. Clark, Heat was
So,
thought to be the heavy favorites at the start of the NBA postseason. But when they met in the finals, thoughts on who would win, I think, were pretty much split.
Yeah, and eventually, you know, this was one heck of a series because the Spurs not only had
wide open
experience
jump
and
shot.
talent, but they had multiple options offensively and did such a terrific job sharing the ball. They took the Miami Heat to the limit, but at the end of the day, it came down to LeBron James and Dwayne Wade rising to the challenge.
If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first.
Nice steal, Thaddeus Young. Take it
And
down court.
Inside and there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
They've built a big lead here early.
Both defensively
I think the Grizzlies are really good at stealing passes and stuff, but the Lakers last game, they never intercepted anything. In this game, it looks like we might be okay as far as turnovers,
with the
but who
Spurs, it's
knows.
their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, a very familiar opponent. They've played these guys an awful lot over the years, and this is the first of their 4 get-togethers this season.
It's funny because right now they're playing each other in the playoffs, and so, you know, it's a playoff game.
First quarter of
the Spurs will probably win the
basketball,
playoffs
just
too,
over 2.5
so it kind of sucks.
played.
But, I don't know.
Stevenson, Ranger covering to halt the run. And
Of course, that's
2
a
free
shooting
throws
foul.
coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact.
And I
here.
wouldn't mind the
They
Heat
get
getting a
Danny
three-peat,
Granger.
Great
but
job. Taking it
honestly,
right
the
at
Thunder and the
defense. I like the
Clippers,
aggressiveness.
Yeah,
I
he left
want
no
to
choice but to
go.
foul there.
That free throw missing.
And the
A lot of
Trailblazers, I don't
familiarity
know.
with these
I'd
two
actually
teams.
rather
Steve just
have
kinda
them
touched
than
on
the
Clark. Do you
Spurs.
think it really does impact the rest of their matchups later
The
in the
Nets
season?
probably should just get out the
Absolutely,
playoffs. I
Kevin,
don't
it
know.
sure does. I mean, because for the winners today, they now know what game plan brought
I hate
them
the Nets
success.
Christmas
So they've got
jerseys.
a
They're so weird.
blueprint for the next meeting. For the losers, it's back to the drawing board for adjustments.
That one
Nice
goes.
little,
Count it.
Wow, just a
double step
tremendous
and
first
stuff.
quarter shooting the basketball for them, guys.
Yeah, when they put it up, it's gone in.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, guys, the head coach for the Portland Trailblazers gave me just a couple of minutes. We talked about the difficulties of facing a player like Chris Paul, and he said that what makes Paul so incredible
Yeah, one of my
is
favorite
his
center
court
power
vision.
forwards
He explained that
are
there
Thomas,
haven't been many
or
players
is Thomas
like Paul who
Robinson.
can pick a defensive
I just like
apart.
Thomas. I know he's not in this game or whatever, but I was just thinking about how he's on the Trailblazers and why not.
Really,
Just like
he can just wait you out
Thomas
until
Robinson.
he sees a weakness, and that's where he attacks.
All right,
Danny
Doris.
Granger
Thanks.
having more points this
Well,
game.
Blazers coach
Yeah, the
Terry
first game I wasn't
Stotts
too
is
sure,
a
and then last game he scored like
branch on
30.
the tree of
but
head coach
Chris Paul still
George
got the player of the
Karl,
game
and
because
that's
he
a
had
pretty
like
good tree to
16
be on. In his
assists. So.
playing days, Karl coached Stotts in the CBA.
Oh,
and
wide open.
actually, Stotts had a pretty good career in Europe.
Come on, someone get there. Oh,
He dishes it to
God.
Harrington.
Everybody just walked away from that.
In low to Cousins. He's against Jordan. No
That was a really
good
tough
from
defense.
Cousins. And for Terry Stotts, after his playing days,
DeAndre
he
Dorn
coaches an
down the
assistant
court.
with George Karl, both in the CBA and then with the Sonics and the
That's
Bucks.
tough to
And
guard.
over 2 decades
6 points,
of
good job,
coaching
DeAndre Jordan.
experience, Kevin. This is his 6th season overall as an NBA
But I also
head
think
coach,
LaMarcus
where he
Aldridge
coached, the
is
Hawks
going to
as
take away
well
some spotlight
as
from
the head
DeAndre
man.
Jordan.
I thought did a
obviously.
nice job with Portland.
We
last
let them
season.
hit that 3 on us.
And that's like a layup for him. He's just wide open.
He's
out
not
there.
doing too well, Al Harrington.
Dishes it to Young. And a great
He's young.
assist
He was
by
doing a lot
Paul
of
as
good
that
jump
one
shots
goes
last
in.
game. Mostly open because he took it down the
Paul's
court
got
and then
his
just going to
fifth
fade away
assist
when
in this
nobody was
one.
trying to guard him.
Trailblazers
They thought he was going to go
trail by
inside.
13. Parsons outside. That's good. Parsons got his
I never
first
knew what a
2 points of the
Trailblazer
night.
Blazer was
San
until
Antonio's
recently. I
gone
thought it was
2
just
of
because
2 from
they might be
3-point
trailing
range
and they
here in
can
the
blaze
first
it easily.
quarter.
Maybe it
Fades and
is.
shoots.
Maybe that is what
And
they mean,
again,
but
it's San
I don't know.
Antonio with a 3.
And as hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan should be simple. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
You're going to hold it or
Thomas
something?
against Paul. Thomas kicks to Cousins. Takes the 13-footer.
Stuffed. Chris Paul with the rebound.
Granger
Danny
right
Granger.
side.
Wide open jump shot.
Gets an open look and hits.
Swish.
Granger's got 17 now.
I couldn't have dreamt of a
17,
much better
holy crap.
start than what they've had here today.
Everything's worked, especially offensively, and what a lead they.
Tune in Friday, November 8th. The Utah Jazz go on the road to battle the Chicago Bulls.
Ew. James Harden on the Jazz. It's kind of nasty.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Spurs.
It looks like they're ready to run, fellas. I mean, they haven't hesitated at all to get out on the break so far.
Yeah, and I've noticed also that their quick hands have led to a lot of forced turnovers. They're getting some points in transition as a result.
On the
Thaddeus
floor
Young
for
making
San
sure he doesn't get
Antonio,
blocked. Nice little
we've got
finger
LaMarcus
roll,
Aldridge.
layup.
Chris Paul is out there with Danny Granger. Then there's DeAndre Jordan. And it's Young in at the 3 spot.
Boy, it was a tough year for Portland, and a lot of that was because they didn't get much done in points in the paint. Not only did they not score in the paint, they gave up a lot of points in the paint as well.
Good thing is Chris Paul's about
Thomas
a
against
couple
Paul.
inches taller than Isaiah
Anthony
Thomas even,
Parsons
so.
Feeds it to Thomas. His 3-pointers
Ooh,
off
in
the
and out.
mark. Well, Clark, you were talking about
Sucks.
them giving up points in close. Perhaps the biggest issue. Portland
Wide
faced
open Chris Paul.
last season.
Swish.
Steve, they were dead last in the NBA when it
I just
came
like
to
to
that
keep people
game.
wide open because
Yeah,
they're going to
near
make
the
you like
bottom
every
of the league
time.
in blocks as well. You just don't win in this league without good interior defense. You have to be able to clog the paint and force outside shots and keep people from scoring. It seemed like it was a layup line against the Blazers last year.
Another rebound for Chris
Spurs
Paul.
leading by 21. Here's Paul.
Another kind of
It's
wide
good.
open.
Only a
Could have
few
passed it to Danny
seconds into the
Granger,
shot
but he's
clock.
open.
Paul's got 5 points now in the quarter.
This has been a one-sided game in just about every area. The lead continues to grow.
Absolutely. Their offense and their D have been equal parts outstanding. You look at Chris Paul and his physical stature, guys. I mean, he's not overwhelmingly strong or certainly not that big. Doesn't really bounce out of the gym. But it's the way he knows how to use everything that he has, particularly his body control. That allows him to be a dangerous finisher in the paint on a consistent basis.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. J.J. Hickson last season was 4th in the league in rebounds per minute. He says, quote, all
course he's
gas,
shooting
no
well.
breaks. That's the way I was taught to
Yeah,
play
but
the
with
game.
DeAndre Jordan and
But he
LaMarcus
says he's
Aldridge
much
inside,
more
it's
than
really hard
just a
to
hustle guy.
shoot
Adding
the
that
ball
calling
inside and get
that
points in the paint
takes
for
away from
any
my
other team.
overall game. I can shoot, I can make basketball plays. He did improve his jump shot last season, and at 25, he has plenty of room to grow, guys.
Well, as his shooting comes along, that's a
Wide
great
open.
way for
Boom.
him to really find his niche, Doris.
DeAndre
Thanks.
Jordan only has
How
2
about the
rebounds.
passing? They are moving the ball without
Yeah, he hasn't
any
been breaking
thought,
out a lot
without
like
any
in
agenda.
our last
It's
couple
hard to
series,
overstate
or,
all the points
teams
they've
we've played
scored
with,
on
but
assists today. Beautiful to watch.
And it's out of bounds. The Trailblazers able to retain possession here. 2 minutes now played in the second quarter. When you talk about Chris Paul's penetration, he wears the number 3 in honor of Allen Iverson, but he's not the athlete that Iverson was.
Well, he's different. Iverson was a blur. Chris Paul is more about strength and side-to-side quickness. Paul's a very good athlete in his own right.
got it.
But
That's
his
must
skill
up for him.
is just so impressive. The ball handling, the passing, the awareness.
Nice
what a
job
player.
inside DeAndre Jordan.
Bill
The end
Bynum,
one.
he's checked in
Can
for
make the free
Isaiah
throw.
Thomas.
Now, Jordan has a 9.5-foot
Yes.
standing reach. And then you combine that with outstanding leaping ability, and you can see why Jordan can be such a lethal defender.
Yeah, very true, Steve. It's even tougher if you're the one trying to do the shot blocking. He has such great length
LaMarcus Aldridge
and
all alone.
leaping ability that trying
Smashing
to
it in.
go up and
15-1
swat him is
run.
just asking to be put on a poster, I think.
This is outrageous. Every shot they're taking right now seems to be finding the mark.
Literally every shot. They are absolutely rolling. Coach Popovich was fined last season for sitting out his top players in a nationally televised matchup against the Heat. I certainly understand the league's posture there, and it was a lot said about it. Yet, for a veteran team like the Spurs with championship aspirations, I understand resting key players during the course of the regular season. Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play
King of
after the
Uranus,
steal all
guys.
the way to the basket.
This is when I met
Wasted
on
no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting
Modern
to pick up
Warfare
the intensity
2.
as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Tries to save it. And it's out of bounds. The Trailblazers able to retain possession here. And back to that fine for Popovich.
We're just going off on the Trailblazers.
Just
17-1 right now.
$250,000.
In the quarter.
Steve, that'll leave a dent.
Yeah, no doubt. But, you know, Popovich enjoys tweaking the league at times. This was clearly an effort to do that. But, look, I think it's good for him to actually, you know, kind of let the league know every once in a while that if you're going to give us that kind of schedule with my older team, I'm going to sit them down once in a while.
And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
You know, for now,
Nice.
the Trailblazers are still the basketball team in the Pacific Northwest. You know, Seattle made a strong push to acquire the Kings, made a record bid, but the owners decided that Sacramento had done its part to keep the Kings, and so Seattle has to wait.
Bynum drives in.
Already he's looking at his third
You get
foul.
fouled, but you're
I think the
just
coach will probably
getting
look
stuffed.
to sit him down until the third quarter.
Aldridge is 3. And I'm not going to sit him down until his 4th, honestly.
That free throw good from Bynum. And the
Actually, no.
Trailblazers making a change here.
We're going to get Greg Oden in, and we're going to sit LaMarcus Aldridge out for a little bit. So I think Greg Oden needs some playing minutes. He's an okay player.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. Greg Oden, he's checked in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Let's pause to take a look at the teams that were tops in field goal percentage last season. The Spurs second.
Hard to shoot the ball any better than they did. I mean, they weren't the best in the league, but they were pretty close.
So he gets them both.
All right. Now it's 20-5.
And here in the second quarter of action, as we approach 4 minutes played, Paul dishes to Oden. It's good, and he drew
And
contact
Oden
on the
already
shot,
gets
so
shooting,
we will go to
and
the
one.
line. A three-point play chance here. And Clark, going back, you know, the Blazers won 3 teams in the Pacific Northwest. You also had the Sonics in Seattle, and Steve, you know, the Vancouver Grizzlies.
And I think those two cities, particularly
Oh, stuff's so bad. Danny Granger with the rebound. Take it down court really fast.
NBA
Down Jordan
franchise.
passed inside.
Seattle almost ended up with the Sacramento
Wait, is that
Kings, but,
who was that
when
actually? Was
Sacramento
that Greg Oden?
awarded the franchise, a lot of people felt like
Yeah,
it
that
was
was
only
Greg
a matter of
Oden.
time before Seattle would be granted an expansion.
No,
team.
that was DeAndre Jordan.
Let's go now to the sideline.
Wait, no, that was
Catch
Greg
up
Oden.
with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Yeah, that was Greg Oden.
Gentlemen,
All right.
last
Took me a
year,
while.
Greg
And I know I
Popovich
slurred his name a couple
received
times, but that was just
$250
because I was saying it really
million
fast that
fine
time.
from the league for sitting out his starters in that game against Miami. They cracked down, but it wasn't the first time he'd rested his top players on a back-to-back. Pop explained the philosophy this way, saying, quote, "We're making a wiser decision and not a macho decision. It's about health and safety of players so that we have a shot at the end of the year. If I was taking my son or daughter to the game, I'd be disappointed. So I understand that perspective. Hopefully, they'll understand my perspective. My priority is the basketball team and what is best for it. Guys, it's always a balancing act."
It certainly is. Thank you, Doris.
I was going to take Greg Oden inside, but then it
Absolutely
just made him take a jump
filthy.
shot.
And the
So.
building is stunned, partner. He dug deep into his bag of tricks there.
I hope he keeps that one handy. I want to see that again.
Now, here's Stevenson. Granger
Oh,
covering.
blocking, and then
Boy,
they're in
that's
the
his
bonus.
second foul, and he does
Great.
not want to pick up number 3 here. That'll mess your game up for sure.
The Trailblazers have shot 75% at the stripe, 6 of 8. And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
All right. Let's finish this half up.
San Antonio's
Why am I running
got
over here?
both
Do
of
not
their
know.
three-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. Paul passes to Granger.
Oh,
Stolen
turnover,
by
no.
Stevenson. And now Portland on the break. Stevenson leading the charge.
Good defense with Danny Granger, but
Stevenson's
not good
got
enough,
4
I guess.
this quarter.
If they're going to take tough outside shots, I mean, they're better off just firing from the three-point line.
Yeah, I agree with it. I mean, if you're going to be back there near the 3-point
I mean, just
line,
try
you
to
might as
fight
well take the
DeAndre
three.
Jordan inside.
Just
You're
step
just going
back
to lose every time.
and knock it down. You know, with that much of a height advantage, that's exactly what you should do. Take it straight to the rim.
And through the
Rebound.
first half, a pretty lopsided affair.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
All right, that was an okay half.
Thanks for joining us this evening. We're all ready.
19,
For the
2, and
halftime
4.
report.
DeAndre Jordan with 13 points, 3 rebounds.
San
Finally
Antonio
doing
on top again.
good this game. And I'm not
Out
like
in Dallas,
trying
the
really hard. I'm
Mavericks.
just giving it to him. He's
Halftime
making a lot of
report,
shots. So.
Presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. An exceptional performance from Danny Granger.
Just a pleasure to watch him play basketball. The way he sets up his teammates, his passing, his decision-making, very impressive.
Yeah, Steve, everything has been running through him, and he's doing a really nice job of racking up those assists.
Isaiah
got
Thomas
stuffed,
out there
honestly.
with Stevenson. Then it's Al Harrington. Then there's Chandler Parsons. And it's Cousins in at the 5 down low. That's the group on the floor for
Nice little
Portland.
jump shot for Danny Granger.
His stroke has been dead on, inside, outside, wherever. The shot's
Not
just
missing too
falling
much.
for him.
The Spurs have always been very
grab
mindful
it.
of resting key players during the regular season. Some of it has to do with age of their players. Some of it is regarding talent because they knew they were a playoff team most years. And, you look at the research, there is something to be said for not playing guys when they're fatigued because injuries are more likely if you play tired.
Thomas goes in. Harrington can't get it to go.
Danny Granger with another
There's no
rebound.
getting around the simple fact that that's a
Taking
shot
up
he
court,
has to knock
wide
down.
open.
Granger, good.
He didn't have to take
This
a
is
three
some
or a
kind
jump
of
or no
performance
fade
we're
away,
seeing from him
but he was
today.
open right there
He is
and
yet to
just made
miss
it
a
more
shot.
open.
And
So
back to the Spurs and their strategy of resting their star players, not without some controversy. The NBA, as you may recall, fined the Spurs and Coach Popovich for sitting all their starting players for a nationally televised game back in November.
Well, it was their 4th game in 5 nights, and Pop wanted to
Nice
rest
little
some of their guys
unselfish
because of just the
move
nature
by
of their
Chris Paul.
schedule. But I think
Good
the
job, Chris Paul.
problem was he didn't give the league advance warning. In that game against Miami, when he rested those 3 players, he actually sent them home. And I think that was a little shot at the league. And that's why there was a problem, and that's why the Spurs and Popovich ended up getting fined. Well, something special about him, guys, is just how good he is at winning the so-called
yeah, the
second
Spurs of
shot
Popovich,
game,
where they
going
sat him
hard
down
to
the Heat
offensive
game.
glass,
I never really thought much
salvaging
about that. I
points
don't
with
really
his
care if he
putbacks.
sits them down.
And guys,
But when he
plays
sent
a
them
tough
home, I
brand
mean,
of
that,
basketball.
just go to the
His
game and
biggest
just
tool
sit
and
there and watch
asset
it.
is
You
his
don't have to
strength.
do anything, but
And
don't
he
go
uses
home.
it
That's kind
every
of, I
time
don't know.
down the court.
That's too far.
And
So I
a
understand the
great assist by
fine.
Paul
Maybe
as
not
that
that
one
big of a
goes in.
fine. But
that's
since,
now
NBA
27
has a lot of
points for
money,
Danny Granger.
I guess that fine makes sense. But
And Chris Paul picks up the foul.
I don't know.
That's foul number 2 for him.
Like, everyone's rich pretty much. But still, that was a pretty big fine for just sitting up. But I understand how sending them home without telling the league first, so they're kind of shocked. Like, I mean, they're sent home. I understand. And by the way, Greg Oden, I'm going to keep him in for a little bit because
And we're
Mark
just around
Aldridge
2
wasn't
minutes into the
exactly
final
having a
half of
great
play
game.
now. Jordan with the block.
And, you know, Greg Oden's doing okay.
They push it up 4 on 3. Here's Granger.
He's always open.
Oh,
It's
and
like
that one had the right
he's scoring
spin
so
on it,
much.
and
I
it
don't
is
understand
good.
why they keep him open.
Granger's got 10 points in just the second half. Outside Thomas.
Oh, whoa.
Elbow shot is on the way. And he hits the
And he
jump
switches
shot.
it. Swish.
San Antonio's gone off with
Danny
a three-pointer
Granger.
tonight. They're a perfect 7
Greg
of 7.
Oh, Greg Oden's so
Shots
tall
good
going
from
inside.
Oden.
Boy, this is the kind of shooting performance coaches dream of. It makes their job so much easier. An excellent start to this
He
third
just stole
quarter.
it.
Well, it was about midway through last season,
Smash
guys,
it
that we
inside.
started hearing
Let's
the
go.
rumors about
Greg
Greg
Oden might be better at the center just because he's
working
taller.
out and getting back in
But I don't know.
shape so he
DeAndre
can
Jordan
make a return
seems to be
the
doing well right now
NBA, and
at center.
lo and
He has 10
behold,
points. Wow.
Here he is, the former Ohio State standout.
Near the three-point
Yeah, Ohio
line, it's
State.
Harrington.
Ooh.
Rebound,
All right.
San Antonio.
Another rebound for Danny
Looked
Granger.
like he
He's
rushed
having a
that
rebounding
one,
game.
guys. The defense was out of position.
he's got a lot
He
of
was wide
assists, too.
open, just couldn't take
All
advantage.
right, now they're guarding him.
Paul kicks to Oden. And the
Oh,
bucket
Greg Oden,
counts.
and
He's on
let's
his way to the
go.
free throw line.
Greg
Try to
Oden.
make it a three-point play. And for Oden, a new start in the
Swish.
NBA, the former #1 overall pick
Wow.
out of Ohio State back
Greg
in
Oden was-
2007 for the Portland Trail Blazers.
Such a shame the repeated knee
He was round
injuries
one,
that
pick one.
kept
That's pretty
Oden
good.
from achieving all that he'd hoped for in Portland, but you just hope that he would eventually get a chance
almost
to
goaltending.
return and come back. So it's nice
But
to
he
see
got
him
it.
out on the floor. Seems like they're on their heels every time defensively because the ball continues to go into the post.
Well, if they don't pick up the aggression, things are only
Ooh,
going to
stolen. I
get
didn't even
worse.
try to.
And a fast break now for the Spurs.
Greg Oden. Oh, well, he
Young
missed a
dishes
layup.
to Oden.
Go again.
Blanketed
There you
by
go.
the D. He fights to the rim for the layup.
Kind of
Oden's
wait. It
got
might have been
11 here in this
goaltending right there,
quarter
but
alone.
I kept it on for a reason. I'm not
wasn't
going to
so
take it
sure
off.
he could get it turned around after that poor first half.
Playing a
but,
lot of away games
he's got
because
it
everyone
rolling here a little bit in the second.
And taken away by
hates us.
Paul.
Chris Paul.
Plays it in off
You
the
know,
breakaway.
layups might be lame, but at the
Paul's
same
got
time, you get
13.
points. It's okay.
Ripping and running. Big advantage for them in transition hoops.
Guys, they just seem to have the fresher legs out there, I mean, and they're taking advantage of it.
Getting a lot of
Thomas
steals this
goes
game.
in, kicks it to Harrington. Portland moving the ball around. Good, and the
Ooh.
assist goes to Thomas. Harrington's got his second basket of the night.
And he was one step ahead of the defense when he fired that pass for the assist.
And again,
Chris
it's
Paul
Chris
going
Paul.
inside. He's really small,
You know,
but
it
he's
seems
not
like when
getting
they've
blocked
gone
this
to him,
game
he's
because
really
they can't
come
even
through.
get to him. He's so
And
fast.
That's not something they should get away from.
Paul against Thomas. Back to Harrington. There's the three. Trailblazers keep it
Missing
alive.
it.
count it.
And
His
the
shot
end
is
one.
good.
Come
He'll go to the
on.
free throw line.
Perseverance paying off on the offensive boards, guys.
For the Trailblazers. Your Rev coach checked in for Chandler Parsons. And it's Caldwell Pope in for Deshaun Stevenson. Here's Paul. And it's San Antonio.
But it's confusing because DeAndre Jordan is 43 and Greg Oden is 34. I mean, not in age. I mean, as in
they've been working for and getting.
Their numbers on their jerseys right now. People are like, "Whoa, 43 years old."
Thomas against Paul.
They're both like 20.
Thomas kicks to Cousins. Shoots from 14. That's good. Cousins has got 13.
Smart. Use that big height advantage. Get the shot off.
Well, it's hard to put a big man on him.
Okay,
Steve,
defense,
far
but
from the
he
hoop.
gets it.
I mean,
91 points.
He is bombing it today. How many more threes are we going to see from him?
Well, we've already seen plenty. The majority of his points have come on that.
A lot of
shot.
assists for Chris Paul right now and some points. So Chris Paul doing well with his assists this season.
Night.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Spurs.
Well, it's been an outstanding game for them in the open court. Their fast break points really stand out.
The other thing they're doing, guys, is forcing turnovers and then creating points offensively as a result.
On the court for San Antonio. Young out there with Oden. Then there's DeAndre Jordan. Then there's Danny Granger. And it's Paul in at the 1 spot. No challenge from the defense there. Clark could have put that one through any way he wanted.
And I love the choice there, partner.
And a
going
shooting foul.
hard to the hoop.
Chris Paul going inside.
Yeah, that's invisible defense leading to a very visible finish.
You know, guys, Portland had one of the worst benches in the history of the league last season. You know, they didn't get much contribution there. It was almost like they went into every game playing 5 versus 12.
Thomas. But they'll get another chance.
Whoa.
Rebounded by Granger.
All right.
Granger's got 5 rebounds tonight. Paul passes to Oden. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in.
That one was kind of forced because Chris Paul could have laid it up. I understand that.
The Trailblazers shoot.
But I don't know. I kind of like
37% from the
getting
field.
other people the ball.
Well, as Clark was talking about when referring to the Blazers,
Chris
the
Paul,
bench
third
scoring
grade?
was
Yeah,
a
third
big
foul.
problem for him as they didn't have anyone really outside their starting 5.
I'm going to try to do a trade after this
Steve could
game,
be counted on for
which
7 points or more a
most
game.
likely won't work. And I know that I can force trades, so I'm going to force this last one if it does somehow valid, you know, if it's valid. But I can pretty much already say it's not going to be valid.
This offseason, they added a lot of firepower, a lot of scoring in reserve, and we'll see if that makes a difference.
DeAndre Jordan getting our 100th point.
Those
Good job.
look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the
Half
low
our
block.
points are inside.
Well, their
Pretty good.
energy is lacking, and they've got to start playing harder and battle down in the paint.
Ooh, wow. Chris Paul. Yeah, see, like, Granger's 35, but Chris Paul's 19 points and 19 assists.
I'm not sure that was the play they
That's
had
a
set
really
up,
big
but it was
double-double.
too good a look to pass up.
We're just over a minute and a half now into the fourth.
Yes,
and it goes
post him.
as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
And he misses.
Guys, you go back
Gotta get our
to
free throws up.
shortened season a year before last, and the Spurs were the best team on the road. But last year, they weren't nearly as dominant on the road. Still solid when leaving San Antonio, but far from the level they played at a couple of seasons ago.
Caldwell Pope kicks to Telfair. And the pass to Caldwell Pope. Kept alive. Here's Thomas. Some solid D from Paul.
There you go. Hard for Chris
The
Paul to
Spurs
get
have
rebounds,
gotten
but
every shot they've taken so far in the fourth quarter to go in. That's 5 in a row to start the
gotta
quarter.
use Young with
Shots
3.
good from
Swish,
Young.
12 points.
And for the Spurs
Good
on
job.
the road last season, they would still win 23 games in hostile territory. And while that is more than the 22, Steve, they won in the shortened season, they also lost a fair amount more as well.
Well, for the Spurs, Kevin, I think they did what they needed to do.
I didn't even try to pass it to Odin, honestly. I tried to pass it to the guy to the right.
But
But,
they know when to turn it on and
it
when
worked
they
out.
can
You
maybe
know, he's
relax
probably,
a little
having
bit.
a pretty
The
good
big
game.
thing is they just want to stay near 500 on the road, protect their home court, and be healthy going into the playoffs, and that puts them in a good position.
They're on track here in the second half.
Not doing. They've scored 11 already this quarter.
After
We're not
their
really
less than
doing
impressive
well with
first
defense
half.
right now.
I mean, I think they came out with some tired legs
Oh,
to start.
nobody's.
But
Okay.
they've turned it around. They found
Danny
some
Granger
energy,
tried to pass it
and
'cause
they
he wasn't
look
open.
a lot more active and engaged.
Paul dishes to Jordan. Good, and Paul gets
Good
the
job.
assist.
Right now,
And
the
that's
big men
now
are doing really good.
17
17
points
points,
for Jordan.
4 rebounds, and 3
Portland's
blocks.
gone
Great
1 of 2
job,
from
DeAndre
three-point
Jordan.
range here in the fourth. Telfair kicks to Caldwell Pope. Passes it to Telfair.
Oh, come on.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will retain possession.
A super defensive play. I mean, if that pass gets through, it's probably 2 points.
And he knew that. He knew if it gets through, it's a score, so that's why he sold out for it and
Let's
got
go.
a hand on it.
Shot clock at 5. Takes a 3. And
Block.
sends it back. Thomas,
And
no good.
rebound by
San
Thaddeus Young.
Antonio's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start
There
the
you go.
fourth
Take it down the
quarter.
court.
And the shot is good. Odin's got 8 points here in this quarter.
They've been getting way too many high percentage looks close to the basket, and
We're
I'll tell
tied
you what, when
points
they're
in
getting
the
them, they're
paint
converting.
in both
You know, the
halves.
play in the paint, an aspect of this game that has gone entirely their way. Excellent execution of the plan
I mean,
there.
I don't get why most of the fans already
Here's
wouldn't have
Paul.
left. I mean, I know they can't really physically leave in this game, but they should have.
Shot on
They
the
definitely
way.
would all pretty much be
Danny
gone.
Granger, the bucket
Maybe
on
even
the
like the
assist
third
by
quarter,
Paul.
maybe the second quarter.
37
Even I
points
don't
for
know.
Danny Granger.
They're spraying them
Probably not
home
the
from
second quarter, but the
mid-range
third
today,
quarter
guys.
definitely.
Yeah, reliable weapon, and that's a sign that the offense is working. They're really moving the ball well and finding good opportunities.
Wide open. No good off the
Yeah, it
front
was
line.
wide open. Why'd you
I
miss?
tell you what, folks, I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes
All
it.
right, I'm not gonna force that
And
kind of.
again, it's
inside
San
shot.
Antonio with a 3.
How many
Danny
times have
Granger
we
with
seen
40
a
points,
possession like
5
that from them
assists.
today,
Great
ending
job.
with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, if you just looked at assists as the measuring stick, they've been by far the better team.
Here's Caldwell Pope. That falls. Great assist by Sebastian Telfair.
He's a lights-out shooter with deep range and a quick release. This guy can really fill it up from the outside.
In
Oh,
the gym
come on.
range, we call that, Steve. Anywhere in the building, kind of like you in your playing days. He's a decent ball handler, still developing in that area. But he can hit shots off the dribble, too, in a pull-up fashion. You love that. Outstanding athleticism. He's more than
All right,
just
they
a
scored
spot-up
19 this
shooter.
quarter.
This guy
They're
has
doing.
a lot of games.
They're just
Boy,
matching
if
us
they
really
could
this
have had
quarter.
this kind of run earlier in the game, it might have made a big difference.
Thaddeus
You
Young
know, I think a
heavily
big
guarded.
reason behind the run, Steve, is that they're not getting pressured as much by the defense now that the game's all but
Thaddeus
finished.
Young for 3 again.
Shots good from Young.
Swish.
Boy, you relish these sorts of road games where you come in and you get the job done.
In a long schedule with the kinds
Oh.
of pressure of
There you
travel
go, and kinda left
and
his-
tough opponents throughout the season,
Chris Paul with the
it's
rebound. Good job.
always good when you play a game like they have here.
The feather touch on the
Jump
finger
tie,
roll.
got this nice little
Beautiful.
finger roll.
And they're not finished yet. They're going to make sure about this win.
Yeah, that's how you close out a game, Steve.
Urebko, the pass to Caldwell Pope. Off target from outside.
Rebound, and the
So
game's
it's San
over.
Antonio easily taking this one.
121.
Clark, every team has a bad
to
night. And these guys
55.
might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how
Wow.
dominant they can.
Who got player of the game? And it's going to Chris Paul still. Danny Granger's 40. Still doesn't match all the assists. Chris Paul 3 in a row for players of the game. CP3. Michael Jordan 3. Player of the game 3. 24 assists. 19 points. So you literally got more assists than points. That is really crazy. Thaddeus Young, Judge Jordan both had 17 points. Danny Granger with 14 points, or 40 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Greg Oden, 23 points. Oh my, Greg Oden, go off. 3 rebounds, an assist, and a steal, and a block. Chris Paul, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 24 assists, 6 steals. DeAndre Jordan, 17 points, 4 rebounds, assist, and 3 blocks. That was pretty good. Thaddeus Young, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. And LaMarcus Aldridge, 5 points, 2 rebounds. And yeah, so great game. Stats. I love the stats. Loving all my stats. So let's try to get the trade. You guys, I don't know. You guys probably might know it. Oops. Yep, we're gonna try to trade LaMarcus Aldridge, but can you guess who with? And I pretty much have a feeling it's not going to work, but we'll just see if it'll work. And no, it's not DeMarcus Cousins, which you might have guessed just because we just played them, so whatever. Dwight Howard, it's not valid. Just great. Can we get rid of someone? No, we can't. Alright. I still want to get rid of Aldridge, though, so let's go find a center to get rid of him. Not DeMarcus Cousins, not Al Jefferson. Nobody I want, except Dwight Howard, but I can't get him. Chris Bosh. Okay, there is no one that I want. Marc Gasol. Okay, let's try power forwards maybe. Okay. Power forwards. Nobody I'm wanting. Maybe Ibaka. Alright, we might get him, but first, I want to see if there's a certain player. I don't see him. Hold on. Is he a center, maybe? Hold up. Let me keep looking for a second. Alright, I think he might be a center. Let me look. I think I got Joakim Noah also. Yeah, okay, power forwards. You can always try to get Kevin Love. No, that's... Alright, let's just trade Marcus Aldridge for a good player. Can we do... Oh, we can do that! Let's go! Oh, they already accepted the trade. Alright, Josh Smith. I'm fine with that. I would like Josh Smith in my team. Alright. I don't know why, but, yep. Not doing a lot of trading, but we're gonna do that trade. So I'll see you guys next episode. Hopefully you enjoyed, even though I traded. I know people don't like when I trade, but anyways, see you next episode. And yeah.